Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Kai. It's Limitless, and we back with another one. And we're talking about Joe Rogan and his podcast. And right here is just a little bit of some business game. You know what I'm saying? Because Joe Rogan has pretty much had the most successful podcast yet, meaning that it does crazy numbers, and he was able to land huge, NBA level contract from this podcast, right? And I think Joe Rogan, he started with comedy, stand-up comedy, of course. I think he really spearheaded this whole podcast wave. We got all these podcasts on YouTube, all these different platforms. And one thing, we can commend about it, or we can, note about this and take from this is that, he has great negotiation skills and great, business sense when it comes to how he built this podcast and how he's, carrying out this podcast. I really liken it to sports. I think that's a really good analogy because once your contract expires in the league, you can choose whether you want to get traded or renegotiate, exactly what Joe Rogan did, right? So check this out. Spotify re-ups the Joe Rogan experience but shifts to a non-exclusive distribution plan, right? And we're going to get into what that means. So Spotify has reached a multi-year extension with the top podcast, the Joe Rogan Experience, securing an important talent relationship, but also shifting to a non-exclusive distribution plan. So what that means is, that the show is hosted and funded by Spotify, but it will be distributed, on Apple, YouTube, Amazon, and it won't be restricting the show just on this platform, which is a W for Joe Rogan and it's a W for that streaming service. I guess they formed this deal because they know, once you created this big value, you don't want to lose your star player. Basically it's like LeBron, right? You got LeBron on your team. You're going to do anything. You're going to pretty much acquiesce to whatever he wants because, you lose LeBron, you pretty much you lost your star player. Joe Rogan's show will stream on Spotify, but will also be available on Apple, Amazon, and YouTube under the readvised distribution strategy that Spotify began pursuing in 2023. The company said it will work closely with Joe and his team and continue to maximize the audience show across platforms. This year's expiration of Joe Rogan's current deal, which was worth a reported 200 million, right? So like I said, man, that's like a NBA star contract, had prompted speculation about rival platforms potentially luring him away. So like I said, they had to come with it and make a very, very, lucrative deal for Joe Rogan to be able to stay. And their deal was that we will promote you on all other platforms as well, to keep you here, to keep your podcast growing. Spotcast has pruned its once deep roster of talent, but opted to extend Rogan, who has consistently been chart-topping host, through the regular courts controversy with his opinions and choice of guests. So like I said, man, when you're that MVP, you're going to get that best deal, right? So all in all, is just the lesson is to, try to do your stuff to the best of your ability, and you're going to be able to dictate more leverage when it comes to negotiating with these big companies and getting that big bag and being able to still keep your company, right? So let me know what y'all think in the comment box. Appreciate y'all for rocking with me. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we got to put a little bit of business game out there for people, on the upcoming trying to make some money. So let me know what y'all think in the comment box. Appreciate y'all for rocking with me. Like the video, subscribe, and we gone.